going to start. It's about 10 after 2, I think. I'm Kay Stepkin. Hello. Welcome to the Vegan Museum. At our events, I often forget after the event, because I get so caught up in what we're doing, I often forget to take people on a tour afterwards. The Vegan Museum is right outside this door. It's in 2 different places out there. So please come up to me after the event if you'd like a tour of the museum, and we can all go out there together. So welcome to our first poetry contest, Voices of Veganism. We've been around for over 7 years now, and people still come up to me and say, "Why do you call it a museum? Why don't you just say traveling exhibit?" It's sort of we're hoping to wind up in a storefront and have a permanent space at some point. Of course, COVID hit, and then we just stayed in the same place for a couple of years, but we're moving again now. If any of you know of any community organization that has a storefront in a busy neighborhood, let me know. And maybe it's a place I can visit and see if it might be an appropriate place for us. Also, by tomorrow morning, you're going to receive a survey in your email. It's very simple. It's 10 questions. I think they're mostly multiple choice. Is that right, Kat? Mostly multiple choice. And we hope you'll fill them out and send them back to us so we can keep improving our programming for you. Kat Ferris, that is Kat, who welcomed you here and checked you in. She's our media coordinator, and she came up with the idea for the poetry contest, and she also wrote up all the promotion for it. So she is going to head the event. She's going to call out each person to read their poem. Alphabetical by first name is how we're going to read them. I'll read them for people who might not be here. Then at the end, she's going to give out 3 free tickets to Vegandale, the Vegandale event. We also got some free tickets. And there's actually, I think I might have 5 free tickets. If anybody else wants one, I can give you one. She's then going to call out the winners of the 4 $25 gifts to Cinnaholic, gift certificates, and then the grand prize of $100 to Planet X, which is Chicago's unique food court over on Montrose. And I just realized this morning that I don't know if that $100 coupon for Planet X is just for their vegan grocery store, or if it could also be used at their 6 vegan restaurants, because it's not really their restaurants. They have 6 Chicago restaurants in there selling food. So that $100 might be for everything, or it might just be for their grocery store. I'm not sure.
So we're gonna start by going by the poets we have. This is alphabetically. So our first poet is Angela Wu. I'm not sure if she's here. I'm gonna assume not.
I don't think Angela's here. Yeah. Okay, this is Angela's Renewal of Veganism. Someone is frying and sizzling. The aroma smells so good. From a distance, the colorful parade looks like tasty food, something I would love to eat. The doctor gave me a health scare, which made me adjust in a heartbeat. I skipped into the kitchen and grabbed a fork and plate. I picked up a spoonful of green veggies, corn, and beans to celebrate.
Number 2 is David Willett. If we have a David Willett here, we do not have a David Willett.
So David's poem is called Next. He is from, I believe it's the College of DuPage. And I realized this morning that I knew his name because the museum was there a few years ago, before COVID. So it's called Next. Veganism. It's not a hard decision when you imagine yourself in the body of your fellow earthling, whose life has been designed, whose body has been shaped for the sole purpose of destruction. Your family, your friends, your wants, your needs, your likes and dislikes, your particular way of being, meaningless in comparison to the $2.99 per pound your flesh earns after being led, terrified, into the dark corridor from which you will never return. Smelling the blood, hearing the shrieks of your kin, you're next.
All right, so our next poet today is Fernanda.
It's called Their Voices. Their voices are deafening, but we do not hear them. Love they do, and care for kin, dance atop mountains, to laugh in the jungle, but cry for a soul to stop the relentless slaughter. Instead, we genetically modify, impregnate, artificially breed, enslave, pets too, fluid extractions, endless experimentation. Destroy their habitats, cull for conservation, rodeo torture, cages and tanks and leashes, abort and sacrifice for religion, stuff for tradition. They are here to be free, just like you, just like me, born free never to be in captivity. They cry out, but no one hears them.
Wonderful. And then our next poet, who's also not here, is George Brock. Okay, we'll read that poem.
This does not have a title. How now, brown cow? You're free to play and cavort. I'm vegan. Let me join in the sport.
All right, and then our next poet would be Lisa Arquilla. Wonderful. All right, if you could come up and read.
My poem is called Worth. Do not whisper hushed lullabies. I'm newly born, I have arrived. But before I even open my eyes, sounds of scourged screams, a crimson massacre, hung upside down from beams. Am I worth more? Born right into misery. I'm chilled to the bone. There's a moon I'll never know, and it's dark. These chains I wear, deep digging scars, dragging across a bloody frigid floor. My curious mind can't shake what's behind steel doors. Am I worth more? I was just born. I let my mother's eyes rest in mine as her aching heart is speared. I know they've done unspeakable things to her just to get me here. Am I worth more? I am brand new. My first smell death, my first taste tears. Before I could ever feel alive, I felt trauma passed down for years. Broken limbs, ripped apart, face down, hooves bound, pining to run, untamed, unrestrained, but I cannot even turn around. Will we be granted time against this human discern? My name is number 2179. After my brother, it is now my turn.
Wonderful. And then we have Amina Patel.
Is she here? Yes. Oh, yeah. Okay. Hi, my poem is called The Vanity of Meat. I am a sentient being. I am not a burger, nugget, or bacon. I am flesh and blood. I am not sacrificed for your breakfast, lunch, or dinner. I breathe, I cry, I laugh, I play, I suffer. I can be curious and clever, compassionate and kind. I am a celestial soul visiting Earth, cloaked in this body. I am here to experience life unfold and bask in its splendor. I do not wish to disappear so mercilessly through your mouth, disguised in vain as filet mignon, foie gras, or pâté. I am a sentient being.
And then we've got Ryan Johnson.
This is food for thought.
Oh, okay, wonderful.
It's a little lengthy, so here, food for thought. I've never written a poem about veganism, but I thought I would give it a shot. My hope is that someone feels where I'm coming from. Maybe I can help strike a nerve in just the right spot. I know it may seem a little harsh, these things I'm going to say, but part of me thinks it's necessary to present information to people this way. These are just words coming out of my mouth. My intention is not to scare. But I believe very strongly we're long overdue to free ourselves from the hooks of American fare. Sometimes friends and family still give me a little heat, all from not blindly conforming to the norm and saying no to meat. We all know what it feels like to fall into unhealthy patterns, if this is no place to stay. Some folks don't realize that it simply doesn't have to be this way. Our mindless consumption is destroying our habitats, causing things to get awfully hairy. This sad and unnecessary process can subside the moment we ditch meat, eggs, and dairy. It's high time we wake up and smell the addiction. We think we're treating ourselves, but in reality only feeding our affliction. Why give the craveability experts the upper hand when we can say enough is enough and draw a line in the sand? There is immense wisdom in this simplicity we're just not seeing. At zero cost to us, we can improve our health and overall well-being. It's a shame we have to watch our loved ones die early unnecessarily, when sometimes all that's required is exposure to slight discomfort temporarily. It's amazing to see just how quickly our taste preferences change, not to mention the thrill of seeing our blood profile all go back in the normal range. The United States pioneered this unsustainable path. More of us must get involved in changing direction, or we may all soon feel the wrath. We're being inundated with misinformation by short-sighted agendas from too many voices. They're being rewarded with profits by spreading lies about the world's healthiest food choices. If I'm being honest, this is frustrating to say the least. It's as if we don't care where our food comes from. We just want to sit down and feast. We can start to improve our habits and build generational health, for this is the truest way to create long-term health. We can make the change today and start enjoying the benefits very fast. Why stay stuck in yo-yo dieting? This is a lifestyle that will last. Your body deserves better. All it knows how to do is heal. All you have to do is get out of your own way. This process can begin immediately, starting with your next meal. We can start to tap into the enormous potential of our developed neocortex and create a life of deeper meaning with a more wholesome vibrational reality some call the vortex. We need to come together with a higher collective consciousness before it's too late. We can thrive at a much higher level and enjoy a much calmer, kinder, more compassionate mind state. I believe our disconnection to nature can be reclaimed through plant-based nutrition. We can create the conditions to improve our own personal homeostasis. This is no superstition. Money can't buy what the truth takes away. Chew on that for a minute. There's not much else to say.
Wonderful. And then we have Trisha Perez.
Very nervous, so I'm just going to read it. Choices. My poem is called Choices. It is when we see their faces shift. It is when we see their eyes fade. It's when we feel their souls cry that we look another way, that we continue on our day. It's when we sit down for dinner. It's when we can't live without. It's when mind and heart are disconnected that we look another way, that we continue on our day. Before long, our hearts become numb. Before long, we can't see their faces or hear their cries. Before long, we have lost our way to help the voiceless. We have lost our way.
And then we had a poet show up today who was interested in reading. She did not submit, but I am glad to welcome you up here.
All right, thank you. All right, hey y'all, hey, I'm Sunshine Lomberg. And yeah, this poem's called I Feel Full. I hope that warm, calming chamomile tea kisses your throat and intestinal tract. Since I've been vegan, I've been more connected to the earth, more connected to myself and future seeds. My change of diet was not a choice. It was more like divine intervention, spiritually suspending me from my cheap vices, both public and private. So I'm forced to take action on the parts of me that were secretly not working and the parts of me that were secretly hurting. In 2016, I damaged my knees and was unable to walk and do anything outside of suffering. And the depression from injury began to do things throughout my body that I couldn't see, turning me into the alkaline vegan that is gluten-free. But I discovered that after weeks and months of vomiting food that I once loved to eat, this was God's plan. This was something bigger than me. I wasn't meant to live and grow off honey buns, family packs of Twizzlers, pizza, and liquor. I was meant for so much more. A lifetime of too many weekly cheeseburgers constipating my bowels, and what I allowed into my future. I'm much stronger now, especially when I keep up with my B12s and pills, and iron. Ever since I've been on this plant-based journey, I'm not as sicker. My hair and nails grow quicker. They're even a little bit slicker. I lost interest in drugs and liquor. I feel strength in knowing what I'm eating. I feel strength in growing what I'm eating. Though recipes and tutorials be choking out my impatience, I'm grateful to be here. Learning meat substitutions brought me many connections with wholehearted, conscious eaters, holistic feeders, and maybe a sunshine lover and breeder. Herbal remedies surround me and keep me feeling clean. Fresh greens and scents so sweet. Growing up off of ramen noodles, hot dogs, and things less green, I knew nothing of tofu, chickpeas, turmeric, kale, burdock roots, and its many cousins. But this diet change was so needed. And I know my ancestors and angels have joined together to hold and squeeze my stomach and intestines tight to only be filled with natural nutrients. And with all the healing and holy hands over my stomach, I feel full.
Well, Kat and I had gone over all the poems before, a couple of days ago, and had selected the first place winners, the next 4 winners, and then 3 winners, but they didn't all come today. And in order to send the prizes to people, we have to have your address. So I'm not exactly clear on what to do, so I think we're going to put this on hold and then send you out an email telling you who the winners are, giving you their poems also. So what we need is everybody here today who read a poem, go up to Kat and give her your address, please. Give her your full address. We already have your name. We should have your name and your email. Give her your address and your phone number.
If you were a poet today, you should have received an email from me a couple days ago. You can also just email me your address, and I will confirm that I got it.
Give it to her now if you can. I mean your home address. Give it to her now if you can, and phone number. And otherwise, you could email it to her if you have to leave right away. So we will let everybody know. So I'm sorry, but it's just confusing. I'm just not sure. We don't want to pick somebody, give them a $100 gift certificate, and then we don't have their address, and we're not able to get it to them. So I think that's probably the best way to handle it. There are extra Rice Krispie treats. Please help yourself. You can take some home if you like. I'm sorry there's no bags or napkins, but help yourself. Yeah. Oh, good, thank you. I will give those out to people.